Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun. And today we got another Destiny 2 Trials training video. We're gonna do a new format for my Trials videos that I've been doing for a long time, and I haven't done a Destiny video in a billion years. But we're gonna keep this one short and sweet. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this map for Trials for the weekend. Let's go ahead and launch it. It is Pacifica. Now, Pacifica is one of those maps that show up every once in a while. It's not something you're going to see too often, um, but it does show up relatively frequently, maybe like twice a season, at least once a season you see it. Yeah, I think we've seen it like once a season. I'm not going to go dig up numbers and go find out how often we see it. I just know it's not that often. And for maps that don't show up as often, right, the less we play on it, the less ready we are to play on it, right? Like, you know, makes sense, right? Um, so I'm just gonna give my thoughts for Friday. Any little tips and advice. So it's gonna be a short video, and hopefully it'll help you guys in your solo, duos, or trios. Now, like this map, like any other map, one thing that I found is being first and fast is still important, right? Um, so I was using Strand to like grapple through, but if we didn't get this spawn, Strand grappling kind of sucked from the other spawn. There was really no like good straightaway to get to the middle first, right? So with that said, um, just realize when you play inside, if the flag is inside, you have 3 choke points from this side of the map. You have 3 choke points that you have to come through, and the enemies are probably going to be, by the time you get to the top of the stairs, there's potentially going to be people here. Hell, there was one team I played that when we got to the top of the stairs, there was enemies like rolling up into our side of the map, and they were very aggressive, right? So with that said, notice these choke points and start paying attention to how the enemies play. You're gonna want to lock some of these lane down sometime, right? So either have grenades that you can throw often, or grenades that maybe you can't throw often, but they're gonna guarantee like a round for a little bit. Okay, no one can go there, or maybe you even want to challenge there, right? But let's go ahead and talk about the angles that you can peek. So from the staircase, someone could be challenging you literally right here. There's a nice little head glitch for people to use, like a bunch of robbers, bro. And they can like peek shoot with, their ADS. So that's a spot they could be at, right? They're gonna be also, they could just be right on the bridge, obviously. You gotta watch for that. And then as you step up these stairs, there could actually be someone back here, a sniper. This is a good snipe spot. I've been sniped from here a couple of times. Some snipers tend to like just be back there though as well. So keep that in mind. And obviously, as you're checking your angles, the further you walk forward, the more, the more you are exposed to other angles, right? So if I wanted to check from right here, I would not usually walk up like this and go like this, because now I'm exposed even more to that. If you were gonna walk up here to challenge that, you would check there first, right? And it's all, it's all just about checking angles, right? So I'll use this box and keep it between me and as much of that bridge as possible and check here. But at the same time, gotta be careful, because now I'm gonna expose myself to that lane, right? A bow, a sniper, right? Pulse scout. It's gonna gun me down. Some teams will play patient, others will not. When teams are playing patient, it's probably time to have primary out, right? And be looking for those patient people. Sometimes I'll like come across here and chase step in here, and I'll try and turn my camera to the side when I do, and just to see how many people are going to be looking at me, if any, or I'll try to see if I just take bullets. If I get shot at, then I'm like, oh, okay, they're waiting, right? So now I know they're just playing passive, they're waiting, and then I have to, I have to adjust for that. Um, as you're running down this hallway, 9 times out of 10 from that spawn, you can probably run with your special weapon out, you know. If when you get about, like, I would say right here, probably pull out your special weapon. Oh, this angle, they can snipe you from here, so don't linger in this lane like you're gonna be shooting someone. You might get picked off from way back there. Um, that's kind of it for the inside. I mean, there's really not much to talk about. I've seen teams play passive and aggressive, so you just gotta kind of, you know, figure out how they're gonna play and just kind of play the opposite way. Now, if you're first to get into the room, you're gonna have a benefit. The other spawn, right, that spawn, we'll get to all 3 of these flags first 9 times out of 10. There was only one time where we spawned on that side of the map, and an enemy beat us to the flag from that spawn. I don't remember what it was, but they did it. As far as the outside lane goes, it's pretty... This map is not balanced. It's pretty shitty coming out, because again, you choke point, you know, and you got kind of a choke point, right? Like, all 3 lanes you come down, you have limited room to move, and by the time you get here, the enemy's already here. Once again, courtesy to Bungie not knowing what a good map for Trials is, right? This was a great map for Trials of the Nine. This is a shit map for Trials of Osiris, but Bungie never really cared. So, with that said, again, you know, you're going to be using your primary, you're going to be using your abilities, right? Maybe your special weapon. You're going to want to look for the picks and look for the open areas. Notable angles to be worried about. I mean, just from right here, you want to be worried about here. This is a dangerous spot to stand because not only you might be fighting a guy over there waiting for you, but that door could be fighting you, right? So now it's like, oh, I need to take cover, and I could probably be shot in my foot from the right, and even if I don't, as soon as I peek, right, I'm pretty much locking myself into winning this fight. If I don't win this fight, you know, there's no chance I can back up, because if I try to back up without a shade step, right, or a Titan shield, you know, I'm going to get shot from the right, and then I'm going to get shot from the left, trying to get to cover, and who knows, I might even get shot from the guy in the middle. So be careful trying to use this as cover. Even if you get here first and there's no enemies here, right, as soon as, if one's up there, as soon as one would move here, you're going to be in a very tough situation. Any other notable angles? I haven't seen any cheese spots yet on this map, like really out of bounds cheesy shit like before. Just take your time and watch your angles. Don't be too afraid to peek. You know, the more you practice, the more you play, the better you're going to get. Now, as far as the other side of the map goes, you're going to get the flags faster. You're going to get to the open areas more, right? Like, the open area by outside flag is just like a nice big open square, right? So you're going to have more freedom to move around. Same things, just check your angles, pay attention. When you're coming inside, I will say this. Where a sniper would be here, it's the same for you as it is for them. A sniper could be there. They could kill you. Even me running through the lane, I've been sniped, right? So I would suggest shade step like that, right? You want to come up here. Slide kind of at this angle. That way, you know, that bottom left, they won't see you. The further back the sniper is, the less they have to travel to get to that lane, right? Understand that. So where you would beat people into the middle, you might not beat that sniper to his spot, right? So he may be showing up 1 second as you get in, right before you get into the room, and that's all the time he needs to ADS. And just, this is the spot I look at, and I look at it 27 times today, and for the 28th time I'm gonna look at this spot, and they're ready to shoot. They know where the head levels are gonna be and all that good shit, right? So keep in mind, a safer way to go up there, you would come up over here, and you wouldn't jump here because you could get shot in the head, but you would come all the way up here and then just make a jump like this. Now, it's risky because you expose yourself to that angle. However, if you know there's a sniper that likes to go back there, that means that's one less guy team shooting you, and if you're quick, you just get up here and, you know, probably get your special weapon ready. Or, you know, if the enemy's on the radar but they're not close, you know, primary out, right? Take some picks. Be careful standing on this box. I've stood on this box quite a few times and got shot from right over there. And I would call out, and, you know, a lot of those times would be my fault, because I would call out, I would come up to this spot, and I would be like, oh, all right, let me get in. Oh, sniper to the left. Sniper at the back left. Sniper at the back left. Sniper at the back left. 1, 2, 3, get a kill. 1, 2, get sniped. And I'm like, sniper at the back left. And I'm calling out to my teammates to do something about it, but I'm not telling them to do something about it, nor am I really expecting them to. I'm hoping they're not sitting back, you know, and sometimes they'll be sitting back doing nothing, waiting, right? And I've already made the aggressive play, so once I got my first pick, I should have got off this fucking box. Crouching down doesn't help, like, they'll still see you. Even if it wasn't a sniper or a team shot, so be careful. If you jump on this box, they're gonna see you. You can be at ground level and they won't see you. You can kind of crouch and they won't see you. Just, you know, you got to be careful. And of course, you can also use this box. Now, some of the teams I found pretty much is 3 lanes, and you want 3 people, 1 in each lane, right? And some of the teams I found where, let's say, I've been up here, and I've been like, there's 2 at the top right, and I'm like fighting them, and then my teammates will show up and try to fight them, and you know the enemy team will kind of back away, and before we start to like, before we come out of our sights, right, look at our radar for a moment, maybe we decide to push, we haven't figured it out, an enemy has pushed through one of these lanes, got behind us, and just started killing us, and I'm just like, I'm like, guys, we can't just like ignore those lanes. We gotta be ready to fight those lanes, right? So I would say if you're going to push an enemy team, you want to try to utilize this lane or this lane, one or the other, right? You don't want to like cluster up over here, and you probably don't even want to cluster up like, oh, we're all 3 gonna push this angle. This is, choke point from either side. A grenade can end you, right? Like that's all it really takes. Plenty of abilities in Destiny 2 could wipe a team out. But then you set up the same scenario. An enemy could come from the right by themselves and just, you're not ready for it, right? And you just get fucked up because someone's not looking somewhere, and it's like, well, whose fault was it? Well, I was looking here. Well, I was looking here. Well, I was looking like everyone had their own plan. No one was really like, doing whatever they were doing. So as you play your games, try to get consistent with your teammates, or be consistent with your gameplay, even if you're solo queuing. And I would say get consistent in every lane, right? Try to get consistent challenging every lane from, inside and outside. That way, when blueberries, you start playing with these random blueberries, right? And you're, solo queuing, and you're a team of solos. Whatever lane they don't like to go, you can pick up the slack there, right? If that lane starts to cause a problem, right? You may not be proficient in every lane, but you'll at least have an idea of how people like to play the lane. I will say this for this lane. A lot of people like to kind of just wait and see what's going to happen. So enemies will stop like here from either side, and they'll just be waiting with like a slug shotgun, or, whatever else, primary into a hot swap, some nonsense. So when you get here, don't think you're going to get free eats, right? Like sometimes you want to take a wide slide and look for a pick. Other times, you'll see a sniper or a bow user waiting for you to fucking kill you. So with that said, that's all I really got. One of the most important things I'm going to say is remember your weapon range. Don't sit around corners like this with your 120 out like me, and then not expect a shotgun to come run at your face, bro. Like, shotgun ready. Fusion, get a little further back. Fusion ready. Like, have that range ready, right? Be in range appropriate. Be in your range appropriate spot for the weapon of your choosing. Also, I seen this a minute ago. Guys, this is just a general tip. It's not necessarily a map tip. I had a teammate. I killed a guy. I got killed from behind. My teammate shot them in the back with their shotgun, broke their shields. The enemy ran this way, right, and ran over there. And my teammate went like this with the shotgun. He just ran, enemy, cut the corner, enemy killed other teammate, and then enemy killed this guy. And I was just like, why, bro? Primary. If it's a long stretch, right, or even if you think it's a long stretch, right, the shotgun shot is fine. Like, shotgun, bam, right? And then, like, cut the corner with your primary out, So, long story short, don't chase enemies with your special weapon if you don't need to, especially shotguns. Pull out your primary, shoot them in the back. Like, you got to shoot them in the back. That's it. That's all I got. Those are my thoughts for this weekend. The map is, I've seen it either way. I've seen passive players. I've seen aggressive players. There's no, like, one-way strategy to win this, right? You just kind of have to have good fundamentals on this map, because this map is kind of terrible for Trials of Osiris. With that said, I am out of here. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Peace out. Thanks for watching the video. If it helps out, let me know in the comment section below if you made it flawless. If, this doesn't help out as much as you would like, don't worry. On Tuesday, we will review the map. I will give you my full thoughts, and we'll give you examples of games played and plays made. And with that said, later.